Lesson 62 is going to focus on the General Assembly of North Carolina, the legislative branch of North Carolina, the General Assembly. It's modeled after Congress, meaning it's bicameral. Again, the General Assembly is the name of our legislative body for North Carolina. Congress is the name of our legislative body for the United States. We call our legislative body of North Carolina the General Assembly. It's bicameral. Has a House of Representatives, which contains 120 members, elected from districts based on population. These are the districts in Wake County in the North Carolina House. The Senate in the General Assembly has 50 members, also elected from districts based upon population. So the North Carolina House has 120 members. The North Carolina Senate has 50 members. All members in the General Assembly have a 2-year term. That's different than our Congress, where House members have a 2-year term, but senators in our Congress have a 6-year term. In our General Assembly, both House members and senators have 2-year terms. So that's one difference. There are no term limits in our General Assembly. To run for our General Assembly, you have to be at least 21 years of age. This is for the House, the State House, and you must have lived in the district for at least 1 year. In the State Senate, you must be at least 25 years of age and must have lived in the state for 2 years and in the district for 1 year. So we see a difference in the ages. For the U.S. House, you have to be at least 25. For the North Carolina House, 21. For the U.S. Senate, 30. For the North Carolina Senate, 25. The Speaker presides over the State House, just like in the U.S. House. The current Speaker of the House is Tim Moore, Republican. The Lieutenant Governor, remember, he runs separately on a different ticket than the Governor. The Lieutenant Governor presides over the Senate, only votes in case of a tie. The President Pro Tem presides in the absence of the Lieutenant Governor. This is modeled just after our U.S. Senate, where the Vice President technically presides over the U.S. Senate, and the President Pro Tem presides in the Vice President's absence. So that's very similar to our U.S. Senate. Dan Forest is the current Lieutenant Governor, Republican. Remember, he is elected separately than the Governor. They run on different tickets. The current Governor is Roy Cooper, Democrat. But Dan Forest is the Lieutenant Governor. And Phil Berger is the pro tempore in the State Senate. Phil Berger, Republican. The General Assembly is a part-time job. Your salary, amazingly, is only $13,951 a year, plus a per diem of $559 per month, monthly allowance. But that's only when the General Assembly is in session. So you get an annual salary plus a monthly salary when the General Assembly is in session. But you can see the pay is ridiculous. It's perceived as a part-time job. Both the State House and the State Senate use a committee system similar to Congress. This is different. In our General Assembly, we have what are called long sessions and short sessions. The long session begins in January of odd-numbered years. This is after the election. When they're sworn in, they'll be elected in November of even-numbered years. So they're sworn in January, and they have what's called a long session, meaning they work most of the year. Then they come back for their second year, which will be in an even-numbered year, and it's a short session. They won't work as long in their second year. So long sessions and short sessions. The long session is their first year. The short session is their second year. 2017, we just finished a long session, and so 2018 will be entering a short session. The main job in the long session was to put together a balanced budget for the state. This is required by our state constitution of North Carolina. And our budget is called a biennial budget, meaning it's a budget for 2 years. Not an annual budget, which is 1 year, but a biennial budget, which is 2 years. And it must be balanced, meaning revenues must equal expenditures. Passing a budget on time so government agencies know how much money they have to spend and taxpayers know how much they will have to pay. That's the main responsibility in the long session. The main job in the short session is to adjust the budget according to projections. Again, the budget's for 2 years, so after the first year, the General Assembly will see, okay, we may be short here. We may need to revise these budgetary areas. We may have to revise taxes just to make sure that the budget is balanced. You've got to have a balanced budget in our state. An increased workload has lengthened both sessions in recent years. The General Assembly meets in the Legislative Building in downtown Raleigh. Raleigh's the state capital. So they meet in the Legislative Building in downtown Raleigh. You may have driven by this building before or seen this building. What does the General Assembly do? What powers do they have? Well, of course, they make laws for the state of North Carolina. Our Congress makes laws for the United States. Our General Assembly makes laws for North Carolina. Both the House and the Senate must pass a bill in order for it to become a law. Then the governor must sign the bill. Again, this is the same process that our national Congress use to legislate. And Roy Cooper is our current governor. Legislative oversight, a very important role of our General Assembly, to basically review implementation of laws and make changes if necessary. Congressional oversight of the executive branch is also a very important responsibility at the national level. So oversight of the General Assembly, just like the oversight of Congress, really important responsibility. Taxation, of course, how much money is needed. The revenue coming in is through taxes, the revenue. Expenditures is spending. The General Assembly must determine taxes. Check on government agencies in response to complaints or suggestions from citizens. Very important role for the General Assembly. Number 4, elect the 32-member Board of Governors. The Board of Governors, the UNC Board of Governors, they oversee our university college system. North Carolina has an outstanding college system. We have 16 state universities like North Carolina State University, University of Chapel Hill, well, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, University of North Carolina at Charlotte, University of North Carolina at Greensboro, University of North Carolina at Wilmington. You get the idea. We have 16 state-run, state-supported universities, public universities, and the UNC Board of Governors oversees those universities. There's 32 members on the UNC Board of Governors. The General Assembly conducts impeachment and trials for judges and state officials, just like the Congress can impeach and remove officials from office. The General Assembly can do the same. Concerns? Longer sessions are turning this into a full-time job, making it more and more difficult for working people to serve in the General Assembly. Think about it. You're basically making $14,000 a year. That's nothing. That's basically nothing. Even with your monthly per diem, that's still nothing. to support a family, much less yourself. How are you going to support a family? And so it's usually people who serve in the General Assembly are retired or they're independently wealthy. And so it's difficult to have a cross-section of individuals representing us in our state General Assembly. They're either older and retired or they're independently wealthy. And our next lesson will be on the North Carolina Judicial Branch. This concludes Lesson 62.